We need to stop talking about this. We want to stop talking about this. So please, God, why can't we stop talking about this?
This is the hopefully last for a while. Let's ban the superhero talk until Doctor Strange.
Please, God, yes.
After this one. Because this is all we've been able to cover is mainly DC stuff. And David Ayer, when the movie came out, said, "This is my cut of the movie."
Yeah.
Suicide Squad, if you didn't read the title. And was like, "No, this is my cut. This is the way I wanted it," supposedly. Yeah. I think he was being nice.
He's probably under duress.
Yeah, I don't...
He knows if he like speaks out against DC, he's going to lose his job.
Probably. Or credibility.
Yeah, credibility, job, either way, because I know he said...
I'd be fine with. He probably just has a ton of money.
Yeah.
It's not like he can't work for himself, right? He's a big director.
He's a big director. He's had a lot of success. He could start a production company tomorrow and probably do it well for himself. But money!
That's pretty nice, too. Can you blame the guy? Yeah. It's like, if they offered you that much, would you be like, okay, I'll have everyone hate me. I want a new boat.
Yeah.
Like,
I want a yacht that said... the Ayer on it or something
the
like
purple Lamborghini across the side. So yeah, the news was today that they're releasing what I found funny is they're calling it the extended cut, because obviously if they called it director's cut,
then they can't. Then
Ayer would be a big liar, and be acknowledging that his cut is not as good,
right?
Which we all know he's so proud of and loves so much. But to briefly recap on this. Because I've only seen the movie once.
Same.
For good reason. There was no amount of rewatching that would have made it better.
Especially not for theater prices here in California.
Yes. Or anywhere, really.
Pretty much.
And unless I'm going to pirate it. And there's so much more legal stuff I would rather watch.
Yeah. Nobody needs to download a VPN to watch something that's not...
terrible.
Yeah.
So, the extended cut... thoughts, Dan? What does this change anything for you? Oh, well, now it's just me. This is your Apple Sheep here. Today we're talking...
Why do you keep doing this, DC?
And why is that pillow so yellow?
Oh, I'm terrified. I'm honestly terrified.
It's like they keep... we all know...
Okay,
where do I start?
Dawn of Justice's Ultimate Edition
sucks.
We talked about that, and we talked about how that, in my opinion, made the movie worse because it's just as uncomprehendable. It expands...
Incomprehensible.
And it expands on things that didn't need to be expanded on. In other words, it just wasted even more time.
Right.
And it was already long enough.
Yeah.
So...
Which is almost a majesty of editing when you get to Zack Snyder, because it feels like an hour and a half, but it's really 2.5 hours. Then they upped it to 3, and it's like...
And somehow added barely anything.
Yeah, it didn't really even affect a thing.
No, it changes nothing.
Like, we already know why Superman doesn't like Batman. Don't we?
It's not... It doesn't make sense. Well, in that one, they expanded that, like...
Yeah.
They built on the fact that Superman doesn't like Batman, but in the end, none of that matters because it's a forced kidnap your mom and kill Batman. So it's like, so none of that mattered.
Yeah.
But you expanded on it.
And now what are they going to try to expand on with Suicide Squad exactly?
I just got a great theory.
Okay.
I think I know why they're doing the extended cut, even though David Ayer said, this is my cut.
Because they're in a hole and they're trying to dig themselves out profusely?
They want Leto back.
Oh!
And Leto hated the movie.
Oh!
So...
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
They're acknowledging that Leto hated the movie because basically he said 90% of what I did was not there. Essentially, he felt like his part in the movie was completely thrown out.
Right.
So now they're like, well, how are we going to get Leto back, given he went to the press, even with the huge paycheck we gave him, and said, no, this movie sucks, which, can't we agree that's like tearing up your contract?
Honestly, I think, like, the difference between Leto being able to do that and Ayer is first of all, Ayer's just behind the camera.
Sure.
Nobody knows him for like the next guy in the street. So and he's gonna probably they can like mess him up easily.
Yeah.
Leto is a lot more in the spotlight, so obviously if you're gonna target somebody, you're gonna get a lot. Like seriously, if I were to try and target him because I'm the head of DC and I hate that he spoke out against it, I would more than likely come under a lot of fire.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't in the form of conflict go to Leto and say you need to stop this because he's already mad at you. The only thing they can do is sugarcoat the movie and give him as much as they can because honestly, how awkward is it going to be if they recast Joker after the first film?
Yeah.
And who's going to take that?
Nobody, because once they see what kind of crazy crap DC is doing,
and once they heard everything Leto did, who would be like, so do you want to play the next Joker? It's like after you cut out everything the Joker did.
Like playing the Joker or any other hero at this point that gets like the shaft is gonna be like one of those guys at Chernobyl who had to go and dig like for 90 seconds or they would die.
Yeah,
you're gonna have a hard time finding volunteers.
You're going to have to just offer a nobody a ton of money.
Yeah.
Or you're going to have to say this is under entirely new management if you want to get a new Joker.
Listen, we need you to go and shovel something for about a minute. When that minute's up, you're going to be set for about 30 years, but you might also have cancer, but it should balance out.
You remember hearing all the things Leto did to prepare for the role?
Yeah, he got like really Shakespearean, didn't he?
Immersed, didn't break character.
Yeah, he scared people.
Brought a pig, texted people weird things, sent everyone. What dead things?
I heard he
did crazy things.
I heard he sent condoms to Margot.
Yeah,
you told me that.
Really creepy things that threw a lot of the cast off.
Joker things.
All that for 10 minutes in the movie.
Yeah.
And not even a main role.
And a machine gun.
Right. I guarantee you that was a reshoot.
Oh, yeah.
That had to have been a real scene at one point.
Either that or they just cut it down.
So it doesn't change your opinion that they may use... Do you think they'll use any of the original footage in the extended cut to make it more of the original vision, which I believe was a much more darker movie?
Well, to reshoot anything would be just illogical at this point. Because they already got what they need. It's just that they change stuff around so much that...
That's what I'm asking. You think they'll use the first thing they had and not use the reshoot?
Dear God, I hope so. Because I was hoping that they would use whatever it was that they had to make it more, like, coherent for, Dawn of Justice Ultimate. And we were wrong, obviously.
Right.
But
we didn't think, because we never anticipated that Dawn of Justice Ultimate would make it a good movie.
We anticipated it might make it better.
It would.
Not by much.
It would smoothen out the continuity. Mm-hmm. And based on the trailer, we thought it did too, because we saw that, like, oh, that's what happens in that opening scene with Superman. That made a little bit more sense, and now we're not as confused. So at least it will be a plot that flows a little better. Nope. Didn't help.
And then the hand of God came down and struck everyone down who had that idea, because that's not what happened.
No. Yes, that's what happened. And that's exactly what I'm anticipating with the extended cut. In other words, I'm going to watch it, but I think they're going to add 20 minutes maximum. Because typically with DC and extended cuts, they add little things. And they usually add these things that you're like, no, that was okay to cut out. You didn't need that one shot of Superman's mom looking at the bat jet fly away and her waving.
Yeah.
You didn't need that. That was okay to cut out.
That's
you don't
fine.
Need to throw that in and say...
Acceptable losses.
Extended because of that one shot. It's like, now you're just filling runtime. So yeah, I agree that this is probably going to be exactly the same in the fact that it's just going to waste more time.
Yeah.
And you know that this extended cut is not going to change the plot drastically. You still have the problem of the Joker not being the main villain. You still have the problem of the Enchantress
being the main villain.
Existing.
Yeah.
Like, and how...
I think we discussed this in the review, but...
Yeah.
If you have someone who could run to the other side of the planet and take something out of the most secure vault imaginable, how are you not ending every war?
Plus,
they even, like, lampshade this by, like, Amanda Waller saying, we have a soldier who can take multiple shots to the head and not die. And it's like, Why are you not just turning her loose?
Well, this was her turning her loose, and then obviously she couldn't control it.
Yeah, and because they didn't think, hey, duct tape.
Still a really dumb plot given, like, how do you stop an evil witch? Don't throw that around.
I'm not.
It's expensive.
I just want to play with it.
No, don't play with it. That's what throw it around means. Anyway, I'm saying your cure to ending witchcraft is mild amount of C4. That is still in the movie. So in other words, adding more scenes with Margot
doesn't solve anything.
And the Joker are going to, like, allow us to critique the Joker more.
Unless they, like, retcon the living hell out of everything. To make it
Which
to
I
where...
don't think they will.
No, they won't. They'll...
Because this is an extended cut. It's not the re-edited thing. Like, you know, with the tagline, "We're sorry." Whoops. You know, in like...
Suicide Squad, the oopsie edition.
Yeah. It's like now the Joker's the main villain. Enchantress is barely a thought. And
Enchantress is more... she's more of just a... like a little study thing
that
is said in the first 5 minutes, but you don't see it again until like the third act. It's like, oh, by the way, that was a thing.
Or like we thought she was part of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Which would have made more sense.
It would have been infinitely cooler.
That's what the trailers made us
believe. Because
when,
like, okay, a squad of a few metahumans, master criminals.
That is the garage.
That's the garage door. And a freaking, like, psycho witch person. Mm-hmm. All right. I can see that being able to be a strategic and tactical force worthy of taking on a threat like Superman in some way. It
still doesn't work against Superman.
Well, the magic stuff does. To a degree. But point being, there's something there at least. I can understand the logic there.
Maybe.
But then you're subtracting...
It's close.
Yeah. You're subtracting that witch, and now you're putting this very... just... messed up squad that's severely under-equipped against this thing. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, Harley Quinn has a mallet and a gun.
And a baseball bat.
And a baseball bat and a gun.
And she's an average psychiatrist. Yeah. It's not like she's a martial arts expert.
Well, that's another thing that bugs me. It's like, all right, continuity... oh my god, the comics!
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah. Even the comic book lovers didn't like the portrayal.
Yeah. And well, I was going to say, she was a gymnast in the comics, so at least there's that. But they don't specify that. Like, can you just, like...
They didn't talk about it.
Throw it in somewhere. Even if it's like an Easter egg line. I don't know.
The, This angle's cutting your head off.
No, I'm just tall.
It's bothering me. And the existence of Batman... makes all of this pointless.
Yeah.
In other words, Batman could do everything Suicide Squad can do. Mm-hmm. So we've covered the fact that the movie's bad, and that the extended cut is going to be, again, their attempt at fixing everything, and again, their failure.
Yeah.
So, agreed?
Agreed.
Now, we have news that Margot Robbie is getting her own Harley Quinn movie.
Why?
Because her performance was so great? As the fans would say. I don't... Uh-oh. We're going again. It's the same pillow.
No! No! No!
What do you want? More of the same? Would that help? It's like... The problem, I think they're... Oh, uh-oh. I don't... The problem, I think... They're listening to all the wrong things. Listen... The film critics don't like it that aren't comic book fans.
Yeah.
The comic book fans don't like it because this is not an accurate portrayal.
Which, fair enough, that's going to happen all the time, but still, it's worth mentioning.
You can still make a movie critics like. Yeah. Ask Marvel.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's accurate to the comics, that's a different discussion. But you can still make a comprehensible film, which was my complaint with Dawn of Justice. Not that it was dark.
No, the darkness is fine.
They need to accept
dark
that's
is
okay.
Fine.
That's what wasn't the problem.
Like, at this point, we want DC to be more known for being dark, because they can get, like... They can go places that Marvel, at this point, cannot.
We need that contrast between Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
If we had two Marvels, both happy and uplifting and jokey characters...
It's called a saturation at that point.
Yeah, it would be
We need
boring.
variety.
We need that company, which DC is great at being hardcore and dark. The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
Which changed movies forever after that.
Yeah.
So
because it's awesome.
Ben Affleck had a statement today that he's like, I got a lot of negative feedback for Dawn of Justice, and it was mostly about the tone. I was like, there's no tone because we don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I need to know what motivations of people.
Yeah.
That's what I need to understand. That was the reoccurring problem with Suicide Squad and Dawn of Justice. Probably Wonder Woman.
What makes Harley Quinn tick? What makes Deadshot tick? Well, we get what it makes Deadshot
all
tick,
of their explosive things in their neck are useless during the bar scene because he crushes the machine. You guys can be free. Go do whatever you want.
It's like you still...
Dumb move. Why aren't they all running, leaving now?
Yeah.
They decide to join and fight Enchantress for absolutely no reason.
I'll give it a pass for Captain Boomerang because he has no reason to be there anyway. So it's kind of funny. He's like, I'm just along for the ride.
He tried to leave earlier.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, let's get out of here. And now it's like, well, now I can get out.
But well, no, he was the first one gone.
Why not die? Why not just go die? That's always fun. You know that thing that's ending the world? That's the other thing is both of these movies obsess over doomsday.
Yeah.
Sometimes literally doomsday.
Yeah.
Ending the world. And I'm anticipating, I've lost all faith in DC at this point.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman will have the same kind of problems where we see the great shots of the trailer, but we don't see like character motivations.
Well, the thing about
everything's rushed.
The problem with Wonder Woman is that any drama we have is pretty much shot now because it's a prequel. So intrinsically, we have no suspense. We know she survives. We know the Earth doesn't die.
Yeah, but it's like I'm okay with that because it's not about the destination, it's about the journey.
Fair enough.
But the best thing Wonder Woman has going for it right now is a protagonist.
Yeah,
which we didn't have before.
Yeah, we know who the main two people are going to be. It's going to be
Chris Pine.
Chris Pine and
her.
Yeah, Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. So that's the best thing it has. But and people say it looks good. The last two DC movies looked good too, you know.
Yeah.
They have a great idea at making interesting premises.
Yeah.
Premises. Is that
premises?
Premises? In other words, the idea of Batman versus Superman is a very interesting story.
The point is, on paper you have a Lamborghini, but really you have a 91 Ford Focus.
That's so accurate. Exactly. So it's Suicide Squad.
Off the cuff, too. I love it.
Again, a very great idea.
Yeah.
A squad of bad guys working together. Also original.
Yeah.
If you want to bash movies for not being original, you got to give
Suicide
DC
Squad
credit
has
for
a beautiful concept.
Yeah, both of these movies do, and both completely.
Yeah, it's like the Expendables.
Tripped at the starting line.
It's like the Expendables if they were just outright bad guys and not mercenaries,
and not campy '80s characters.
Yeah, that's true.
And were actually interesting.
Yeah,
like each character on paper again looks and feels amazing.
Right.
So with a Margot Robbie movie.
What does it have going for it besides he's ugly on the outside?
I'm confused by people who loved her performance.
I am too. Lindsay loves her performance. I was like...
It felt forced.
Yeah, I don't get it.
It felt wrong. It felt like the accent was DC scrambling to answer the complaints of the people saying she doesn't have the New Jersey accent.
Yeah.
And then they filmed the reshoots with her in the original costume. Mm-hmm. Just to fan service. Remember that one frame?
Yeah, right.
And the only fans of it are like all these Hot Topic people.
Yeah, I don't get it. It's okay. Seriously.
So not excited for that.
People who love Harley Quinn, explain this to us. Are we just like in a different lens here? Like, is there something we're just missing about Harley Quinn's performance that we don't get?
Here's the real question: when do you draw the line between what's a performance and what's showing up? Because I was thinking a lot about this, because a lot of people love Suicide Squad.
Right.
A lot of the fan reviews on Rotten Tomatoes said they liked it. And there's so little of everyone, of Harley. It's like a few jokes here and there, and they're not good jokes. They're not rolling on the floor jokes.
They're like that high schooler who's trying to be edgy and funny, but they are...
It's just cringy.
They're still learning how to do it.
You just watch it and go... Oh, God. Like, please to meet ya. You're like, oh, God, please stop trying so hard.
Yeah.
And it's like, costume is not a character, by the way. So just saying they have a neat
Yeah, you see, the 90s had that concept with the comic book industry, and in which every character was just its gun or costume and how many bright colors and... pouches you can put on. Looking at you, Liefeld. And that's not what constitutes a freaking character.
Like the joke is the helicopter crashes and she goes, "What a ride!"
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
Genius writing.
It's so great. I want to stab myself with that sword.
So I don't understand why anyone should be excited for that. Even if it's a sequel, that's going to be confusing because she's still in. So is the Joker going to be back? I don't. It's going to be a hard time to get Leto
Suicide Squad
back.
ended on a huge cliffhanger, so I want to know how they solved that. Right. Like at the end, they leave it on such a huge cliffhanger. Just all of a sudden, Joker and his men burst in. They're like, "Let's go home, Harley." And then Credit's like, "You don't get to leave us hanging like that, movie." That's low, even by cliffhanger ending standards.
Yeah, we just kind of, everyone rolled their eyes at that. Yeah. It wasn't like, I can't wait till next time. Plus, this isn't like an independent characters movie. It's the Squad. So are we going to have a Suicide Squad
and the title
2? Or are we going to have a
Harley
standalone...
Rising.
Yeah, are we going to have the standalone Harley film? It's like, you should have started with that.
Yeah.
And then do the meetup film... DC.
Why do you keep making bad decisions, DC?
Is peeking the thing.
I'm sorry, microphone.
And then
I killed the DC pillow.
We also have news that the official title for the next Affleck standalone Batman film is called The Batman.
You mean the Affleck standalone Batman film at the moment?
Well, I thought they signed on for a trilogy.
Well, yeah, I did. Yeah, that's a bit over. That's a bit over-prepared. But...
So you've got 40 minutes of a character, let's make a trilogy.
Yeah.
It's just factory line now.
42, because he's in Suicide Squad, don't forget.
Oh, God. It made me hate him even more. And it wasn't even about him. He's like, Batman makes an appearance, and it makes you hate him even
weird.
More.
Like, you know what makes it weirder to me? Is like, I'm not sure if they're trying...
forcefully
Well, I'm not sure if they're trying to tie it into what's going on in the comics, because evidently... From what I read, Harley Quinn and Batman are dating now. So if they're trying to merge the two or like associate, it's like, why?
No, stop it.
Get some help.
He's old. He's supposed to be like in his 50s, 60s, right? Not that that's old.
Nobody specified anything.
We have no details, and they even made a PowerPoint in the movie. And all we know about Boomerang is that he likes unicorns. We don't know what year it is. We don't know.
Okay. Here's what we can extrapolate.
The big acid things that jump in.
From the big.
I don't know what that is. It's just there.
Yeah, from the grand scope of things in the DCU. Superman was just. He's not dead. We already know this. Batman is severely...
Oh, yeah, they already showed a picture of him on the Justice League poster. It's like, way to... Way to talk about reveals. Like, you're going to tease that he's alive, which he definitely is, and then not even be subtle about the return. Not going to be like, at the very end of Justice League he shows up. You're just going to have the poster and say, oh, there he is, with a black suit now. Suit's cool. I'm okay. I'm okay with a suit.
Somebody's being paid to write these.
Yeah, why though? Like I said, I think we should boycott Wonder Woman. We may be accused of being sexist, but I was like, no, I just want good movies.
Yeah,
and I guarantee you, it's going to get like a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. If everyone leaves the theater confused, they're not going to give it a fresh DC.
Can DC and Marvel just work out a deal? Like, hey, we're not enemies, right? We don't have to compete like this. Can we just do
I've said before and you've disagreed with. They are not enemies.
Well, I mean, frenemies. How about that? More, like, very respectful rivals in a sense where they're not like,
because I don't know.
I hate you, but they're like, well played, sir.
I guess, but my point with Marvel and DC not being enemies is that they're both generating profit from the same people.
Maybe enemies is wrong. Like, maybe enemy and rival is the wrong term, because I don't think they would hate or love each other. I think they're just like,
it should just be a civil battle of who can make the best story.
Yeah, they're just like, I guess, opposites that they're like a yin yang.
It's not like Apple and Samsung when you're trying to persuade individual people which phone is best for them.
Yeah.
because most people aren't going to buy 2 phones, but lots of people watch more than Marvel movies. They watch both DC and Marvel. And they have to understand, I'm probably repeating myself, that for your best interest, if you make a better movie, you're going to make more money because people will go back to the theater. DC has had the largest in history second weekend box office drop.
Yeah.
In other words,
more people have just given up by the first week than...
Oh, and I can hold that my prediction for Suicide Squad making 500 to 600 million worldwide was very close. They made a little over 700. Which is still a lot less than they could have made had it been a more entertaining movie. Same with Dawn of Justice. It's the first Batman movie since Batman Begins that didn't break $1 billion.
Is it really a Batman movie, though? I don't know how to classify.
Okay, movie with Batman. Because Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises both broke $1 billion in the box office. Dawn of Justice has Superman, one of the most popular heroes ever, and Batman and Wonder Woman together only made 800 million, which is still a lot, but still
for a movie with that
you should have easily broke $1 billion.
Yeah,
like Avengers did in 2012.
That's so easy to do. It's basically the Hulk shattering a twig with mental thought.
This is why I don't blame Disney for playing it safe, as they say. It's like Hollywood doesn't take very many risks. It's like, look what happens when they do.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to see. I think it's very cringy to see a $400 million mistake.
Yeah.
If you want risks from Hollywood, you have to accept the consequences that risks doesn't mean a good movie.
Right.
Originality does not guarantee quality.
Right.
That's why Disney's like, okay, well, we can't make the most original plot.
We'll at least try to make it as good a cliched plot as we can that people will
like. I'm sure the producers are like, The Force Awakens is very cliche. Mm-hmm. But it
works.
Yes, there was no alternative that would have made more people happy.
Yeah, and they did their damnedest to make it look amazing.
Yeah, I think they did the best they could.
Touch everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you do a binging of the Nolan Batman films and then transition to Dawn of Justice,
it's severely
the
different.
Practicality to CG is so obviously terrible.
Definitely.
And this is newer, a movie that comes out in the next decade should be looking better than a movie that came out 10 years ago, right?
Right.
So, you saw that, what's the new character in the
Deathstroke.
Batman? Deathstroke.
That's another thing. Because, hey, Katana like Deathstroke. But, or maybe it's Deadpool. I can't remember.
It's a cool costume, once again.
It's a cool costume, but
great job, DC,
that's not
with the
a
costumes.
Character.
Well, we know nothing. There's not even a teaser.
I know very little about Deathstroke. Because what little...
That's good.
Yeah. No, I mean just in general, because the little influence I have about him was when he was just called Slade in Teen Titans, and he was awesome. Mm-hmm. He was voiced by Ron Perlman, and he was just BA as all hell.
So what's your stance on the newest Batman solo film directed and starring Affleck?
Well, first of all, I don't want to know the villain yet, so I kind of hate that. But...
It's kind of weird that they're leaking it so early. It's like this doesn't come out till the end of next year. Here's some footage that I filmed with my phone and then tweeted.
That's the kind of thing you only give a 30-second teaser, and 20 seconds of that is just some kind of, I don't know, voiceover or something like that. And then you have 10 seconds showing I don't know, maybe...
Or just a voice.
Just a voice. Or maybe some...
And then the mask stares into the camera and you don't see the whole mask, you just see the eye line.
Yeah, and maybe
something like that.
Something like that. That's something you do when you have 6 months out, I think.
Generating hype is what
hype, getting it ready for whatever.
Instead of just
here's
the movie.
You don't do that over a year in advance.
Now we all know what it's going to look like, so when the trailer finally comes out, we're like, yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
It's at 1080p now.
It looks nice. But
I already saw it.
I'm so afraid. I keep hearing people say that Daredevil got better reviews than Dawn of Justice.
It did, yeah.
And I'm like, that's unfair. You can't judge...
I haven't seen it.
Daredevil. Daredevil's...
The movie, of course. I'm not talking about the show.
The show's good.
The Netflix show, everyone agrees, is great.
Yeah. No, the movie sucks. But Affleck did what he could there. Mm-hmm. And admittedly, if you watch the director's cut, it makes it slightly better. But only slightly. It's like...
I don't know much, but all I can say is I know who the protagonist is. And it may have had a stupid, but likely more cohesive plot.
It did.
Somewhat. As in antagonist with... Yeah.
We had a clear main character.
With motivations.
A clear bad guy.
The bad guy and Daredevil have reasons for his actions. It may be retarded, but at least we know what was going on. And that's my biggest problem with Dawn of Justice. Affleck, it's not the tone. It's not that there's no jokes. We can take a movie without jokes. It's that I need to know what's happening and why it's happening.
Right. So, but I still, I mean, we can't settle all the blame on, for the movie, obviously, on Affleck, because he did what he could. We're still, like, on the fence about what's going on with him.
You can't really focus it on any one person.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm hoping that, you know, the weird BS in Suicide Squad aside, maybe we'll get a more coherent, like, view on him, like we did with Superman and Man of Steel. Because
at this point, that is the best DC movie.
That is the best DC...
of this universe.
Yeah, this...
Not counting Nolan.
This continuity.
If Nolan were here, his 3 movies would be at the top of the list. Yeah. Easily. Mm-hmm. I this is a little bit of a side note, but I'm angry when people say Ben Affleck's the best live-action Batman because of one action scene where he brutally murders everyone. And then they said, well, that's obviously better than the Nolan movies. I was like, what?
I think it's hard to say which one's the... I mean, I guess it's not hard to say which one's the best.
Trilogy? 40 minutes.
It comes down... Well, first of all, we've only seen 40 minutes of them, so we got to see more before we can make an assumption of
with only one fight scene.
Yeah, of how good he is as a Batman. But even then, we're always going to have those people like, oh, Keaton was the best. No, Affleck was the best. No, you know, Bale was the best. And
I just think the people with Affleck have no evidence to back it up.
They don't. They don't have anything yet.
They just don't like the Christian Bale voice, and they like
call me when the
voice.
DCU finally wraps up, and then we have a more coherent idea of what Affleck's Batman is all about.
And I guarantee you Nolan will win. Because
fair enough.
DC cannot... I do not think studios are able to make giant 180s like we're describing. No. Obviously, we want them to put all their faith in the director, not meddle with the story, and we'd probably get something that's fairly followable, and maybe not the most original story, but it would be gradable.
Right.
We could look at it and come up with a conclusion. I don't think the studios at DC have the gumption to just totally change what they're doing.
Right.
They've made the mistake twice, and all they do is ignore the haters and say they don't know what a good movie is.
Onwards to less dark movies, basically.
And then they listen only to the people who liked it.
Right.
And say, well, they liked it, so obviously we did something
They're
right.
basically creating their own echo chamber. And
yeah. Never listen to the critics, only listen to your fans.
Yeah.
And then you'll never change. That's what I think they're stuck as. I don't think it'll change.
It probably won't. Like, here's the thing. Studios have it like this kind of... There's like one of a few outcomes. Okay. Either they make a good movie, it's successful, people want to see a sequel, they make said sequel, and it's good, like... Marvel. Or as what I had in mind was... Sherlock Holmes and Game of Shadows. I thought they were both. They were both pretty solid.
Yeah, I like those. I'm disappointed there's not a third one.
I think are they gonna make one or not?
They've been trying to for a very long time, but haven't. Some kind of drama behind the scenes.
Okay,
but yeah, there's solid movies.
There's the point where they, equal goodness in that scenario, or they go a point where it's like you have Terminator 1. And that that's a well-liked movie. There's some issues here and there, but it's still a pretty good movie. It's fun and for everybody.
Very famous.
Then you have T2 come out. It just blows it out of the water like a freaking...
kind of like Captain America.
Yeah.
First one, everyone's like, oh, okay. And then the second one's like, this is the definition of an action movie.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to is just like, yeah, I like the first Avenger, but the Winter Soldier was freaking awesome.
Yeah, everyone's in love with that one.
Yeah.
Still haven't seen it.
So it's either equality or you have one movie that's a good start, another that just surpasses the original by like obscene margin.
And Disney's right to assume we need to make these movies at least just they don't have to be groundbreaking amazing.
No, they
just need to be entertaining enough to get us back in the theater, which is what they have. I have very huge doubts that Infinity War will be the greatest story we've ever heard.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be shoehorn. We gotta get the checklist and make sure everyone we talked about is in this.
Do we have Loki? Yeah.
Yeah. Did we get the Guardians? Oh, get them in this scene.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's gonna be, and we got a hint of that with Civil War. Like, there's a ton of people who don't need to be there, and it doesn't make room for good storytelling. It just makes room. It just makes room for checklist. They were in that movie. Yeah. But at the end of the day, all you're going to remember is the funny scene with Rocket and Tony Stark playing off each other, and then Peter Quill bouncing off,
trying to make a crack at
old elderly jokes at Captain America, and Thor being proper, and you're going to laugh.
I would honestly, God, love to see a fight between Thor and Drax. That'd be something about that. Just sounds hilarious to me.
Just the hammers.
Just the.
Like a nailing competition. Like giant nails.
Side note: is it just me who thinks more Thor thoughts? But would Thor be? That's got to be a segment. Thor thoughts.
Yeah. Just real briefly, within the next minute, talk about how excited you are for the third Thor movie with Hulk as Hulk co-starring.
Dude, I'm glad he's into something finally, because I've been wanting to see another Incredible Hulk movie for a while.
And I think both Thors have been
Both Thors have been okay.
No one's favorite. I'm sorry, it's something everyone's favorite. But I think that's great. They said it's a buddy space movie.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
They finally get Hulk into something that's not Avengers. Thank you.
That's been bugging me for the longest time, because I'm like, why is there no more Hulk? I can't speak right. It's got me that mad. Why, Marvel?
I want to see a regular old Bruce Banner go to magical space kingdom, just to see his reaction. Like,
Hulk in Asgard. What the hell is happening?
Yeah,
here,
he's
man?
just like all hulked out and he's running everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just gonna be fun.
That's it.
And
already I'm excited just to see that goofiness.
Yeah, and it's not. None of Marvel movies are like groundbreaking, life-changing stories. What's an example of that? Like Nightcrawler. It's a movie that's really great storytelling.
That's
that
Jake
you're like,
Gyllenhaal, right?
Yeah, it's like, wow, that was a great performance. Man, that was well written. They're not like that. It's just like, no, we just need to bring people to the theaters,
right,
and give them a good laugh.
Yeah,
that's what's important.
Give them something that's gonna, pretty much pass across the whole board, and maybe for a few people they'll see something in it that others don't. I think a lot.
You want people arguing which one is better.
Yeah,
you don't want them arguing, will this be good eventually?
Yeah,
which is what DC has right now. Mm-hmm. Maybe this time they'll do it differently. I'm like, no.
DC right now is the story of the little engine that could, but it really can't.
Like, you feel bad for the engine, but you want to give it hope.
Like, it's not getting enough coal, and
it doesn't get suicidal.
Yeah, it's not getting enough coal. Its engine isn't working right. The conductor's probably going to get fired because it's not doing its job right. But you're still rooting it on because you're like, don't fail, little buddy.
Don't give up. So yeah, as we're wrapping up here, I do not personally want to see any more DC movies. I think the new Wonder Woman's going to suck. I think absolutely no one is taking Justice League seriously. You can just tell by the trailer. They're like, well, I don't know. I guess we're doing this now. Put William Dafoe in it. And then
oh god, William Dafoe would have been great as a Joker.
Yeah, why are they not making these connections?
You see, I think I said this before.
They casted 3 good
DC
Jokers.
needs to just burn from the ground.
They need to sell everything.
Do you think we do one more little 10-minute segment? Because I have a thing I want to talk about.
Okay. Not closing quite yet, but you knew that because of the length of the video. Go on.
Yeah. Anyway, now, if you had, I've been thinking, if there was a way to bring DC back up, the only way I could think of would be just burn it to the ground at this point, and maybe go back to starting with Man of Steel. That's your bedrock, right? Because Superman is the first superhero, and it's the first movie in the DC
Would you
universe.
keep the cast?
I would probably keep the same cast, because I feel like there's a lot of potential. It's just not being utilized properly, or because of executive meddling.
Yeah.
It's just getting screwed over.
So you're asking, if we are to make DC great again, would you have to restart everything, or are they in too deep? That's what you're asking?
I think right now they are in too deep. We already said that Dawn of Justice was a misstep. Suicide Squad could have been their get up from the ground, but
like I said,
it's a killing
Dawn
blow
of Justice could have been the flop one, But Suicide Squad, as we've said before, proves that this was no accident.
Yeah.
This is
tactical.
A studio failure. It's not one movie flop. It's everything.
Yeah, so right now we're waiting for that one plane to hit the Pentagon.
Exactly. Which will be Wonder Woman.
But I'm thinking, like...
And maybe the Batman solo film is the attempt on the White House, which fails, and it's, like, moderately okay.
Yeah.
It'll have, like, confusing things, but we'll be like, I mean, it's okay.
I almost, like, I keep thinking to myself, what if, like, in lead up to, Dawn of Justice, like, they could have kept Superman, because that makes sense. First superhero, like, that became mainstream, popularized. That's a good playing...
Divided people.
Some
people didn't. Some people liked it. I liked Man of Steel.
I liked it all right. There's some things that kind of bugged me, but still enjoyed it.
I like it a lot more now.
Yeah, knowing that it's the best one.
Knowing, that it's all downhill.
But I was thinking, what I think would have helped them out if they, like for Dawn of Justice especially, is if around the same time they were to release the first Affleck Batman movie, or like after it.
Right after Man of Steel.
Right, and like I'm talking, like Kill Bill Volume 1 released. Like January 2003.
Oh, like very quickly.
Like really quick.
Yeah,
really,
I agree.
Like,
I agree. That would have been smarter.
Rapid fire.
Like everyone said, the solo film should have came first before the meetups.
But they should have been like so close together that when you watch it, let's say, Man of Steel is like nearing halfway through its run, right? You go to the movie theater, you're gonna watch it, you find out, oh hey, there's a Batman movie too. Well, hey, let's watch this. So you decide, hey, I'm going to go ahead and watch Batman first, or because I love Batman. You get out of that and you see, like, you hear, I don't know, the reports of something on the news happening in Metropolis. Like, people...
Easter egg each other.
That's what it is, yeah. And then you see what happened, as that news report, in the middle of Man of Steel, or not middle, but my point being, you see it happen in Man of Steel, then... Once Dawn of Justice was to roll around, you could see the first 20 minutes, see how he's going through all this stuff, going through the destruction of Metropolis, saving who he can.
That I liked.
Yeah, that was...
That part of Dawn of Justice should have been there.
Amazing scene.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, the looking at the terror and not getting out of the building is stupid.
Yeah, dumb.
But
still, the whole scene...
That was the best part of the movie, I think.
Yeah, especially since you get that instant of, okay, you're on my list, dude.
Yeah.
That was good.
That was good setup.
Like, if I had to save one scene from that whole movie, it would be that.
There's probably, one scene, there wouldn't be much I'd change. I'd change some things. Like, I don't need a dude praying. Like, we've been watching this movie for 3 minutes, and we're already watching a guy pray before he dies. Like, geez, slow down.
This came from the Christian.
That's... Movies has the word verses in the title.
Yeah.
And we're already to religion. Hasn't even been 10 minutes. Like, slow down. Jeez.
But that's just my own theory in, like, plan. Like, if for some reason you find me in the middle of the DC corporate office.
You want to work up to that.
Yeah. If for some reason that happens, that's how, like, I'm just going to be like, all right, this was crap. We got to redo this. And then just do that.
What's an interesting question, though? Like I've said, I don't think they're going to do a 180.
No,
but could they, and make the universe tolerable?
It would have about the same chance of lightning hitting you on the head twice, probably. Because
I know it won't happen.
It's really difficult to do.
At this point, I can just say with 100% certainty it will not happen.
Right.
But my question is, if like they fired their staff,
right,
hired me or you, whoever, and said we cannot discredit the films we've made.
Right.
Everything we've made is canon. Can we turn what they've set up into something interesting?
We could, but we'd have to make all the movies like 4 hours long. Just because there's so much missing that has to be added in.
Let's say Wonder Woman isn't confirmed yet.
Okay.
Could you continue on from Suicide Squad and make something fairly interesting?
There's a way, but you got to fix not Man of Steel. That's fine. You got to fix Dawn of Justice and Suicide Squad first in some capacity.
You got to look at what we have.
Yeah, you got to look. You got
to
look
at
what's...
Superman.
Yeah,
we've got a teamed up Batman and Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
we've got
Easter eggs with Flash,
Lex Luthor in jail, the Joker on the run.
We got
with Harley.
The Suicide Squad is in effect, and they're confusing.
It's very confusing because we also have the Flash somewhere.
Yeah, Flash is
out, and Cyborg.
And we know Aquaman is in play at some point.
So I guess the next step would be Justice League.
Right.
But
how well would that work, basically?
What would it be? It could just be a story where the Joker breaks Lex out
Which
of
actually
prison.
That'd be an interesting.
And then Batman, Cyborg, Flash, and the gang have to go get Joker and Lex, and they're teaming up.
Right.
That's the only thing I can think of, honestly.
Yeah.
I got nothing. Superman shows up at the very end.
Just like, by the way, I'm alive again.
All hope
because we needed to lay on those Jesus overtones.
Yeah, jeez.
Do you think that's what they're doing?
Oh, of course they are.
I didn't.
Well, Superman.
That just occurred to me.
Superman has always been a motif for Moses/Christ.
Okay.
You know the
Messiah.
The planet ending and him being in the raft and flying to Earth.
Okay.
And the blatantly obvious Snyder Jesus symbolism.
Does that make General Zod like Ramses? Or
you're thinking too hard.
Who's Egypt?
No, it wasn't meant to be that deep.
Okay. I was just curious.
I believe Superman was a kids' TV show before anything.
Probably. Anyway, so
who stopped the bus from going off the cliff?
Yeah.
And now he's murderer. You know. Movies have changed.
Yeah.
And yeah, the dark thing is fine. So no, I don't think there is any chance of it turning around and becoming semi-interesting. I think you're right in the fact that for this to work, we would have to atom bomb the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think you could even keep Man of Steel. That'd be too awkward.
Yeah. At this point, the only thing we can hope for is that they stop at Justice League, and then 20 years from now, people who don't have their head up their bum, because I can't say that.
Yeah, I know.
Because I can't say it. And
head up the rear.
Head up the rear that know what they're doing can actually make this work. Cause
yeah, I think we need a big break.
Yeah.
It's like I never liked that they were immediately redoing Batman a couple years after Dark Knight Rises. I'm like, too soon. Let it breathe. You just had one of the greatest trilogies ever.
Yeah, we let Batman Begins be a concept before, for almost 10 years after Batman
and Robin. We had to get that stench out of our mouth.
Yeah, because that had to be reinvented.
So I think what you need is to make some more good TV shows that are heartfelt, like the Flash TV show, which is pretty good. It's campy, but it's fun. And Supergirl, I've heard good things about.
I've heard a lot of good things about Arrow, and I love Gotham.
I haven't heard as much great feedback on Gotham or Arrow.
Well, I like Gotham. I like
Flash. I thought Arrow is too campy. They're taking themselves too seriously. Anyway, they should just focus on the little stories for a while. Nail those out.
Before trying to build a universe.
Work with Netflix. They know what they're doing. They've got some money.
Right.
Work with people who know what they're doing. And then to come back to the universe.
In
other words, go to jail. Serve your time. And
then
bring it back later.
Go to jail, watch Iron Man through Avengers.
Take notes.
Then come back in Blueprint.
Yeah.
I think that's...
Realize...
That probably sums it up pretty well.
If they put Chris Nolan in charge of the MCU, that's what you want to aim for.
Right.
Because Nolan is smart in staying far away from DC right now.
Yeah.
He's probably mad that they put his name in the credits.
Yeah.
I didn't say you could do that. Sorry, we needed your name on something.
All
it's
right,
oh god.
Let's go ahead and wrap it up then.
Wrap up. I think the DCU is lost.
The DCU in its current form is on fire.
I'm gonna have to be pretty freaking lonely to go watch Wonder Woman.
I think the DCU now...
I don't want to. I'm just... We'll
do it together.
Or Justice League.
We'll do it together, buddy.
I'd pirate it. It's the only movie I'd be okay with pirating because I know they won't get money.
Fair enough.
Please understand that.
Basically, right now the DCU is the Titanic.
Yeah,
well, it's not
exactly.
even. Well, actually, yeah, it's already mid-crash.
It's funny if you watch all of our State of the DCU, which I know we're pronouncing wrong. It's
DCEU, which
EU.
Semantics.
Screw you. Our hope slowly dies throughout the videos from being
we become more and more cynical.
Suicide Squad could save it to there is no hope.
Yeah. We've hit the abyss.
As Superman said,
it stares also.
The bat is dead. Bury it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying to the DC.
And so now DC is begging the question, do you bleed? You will. And it's like, we will bleed because you're taking our freaking wallets.
Marvel at least has jokes.
Yeah, they at least have jokes.
They may have. They manage to
make
their plots may fizzle out and not make sense, but they'll make me laugh.
Yeah,
that's all they got.
And the action at least looks nice. There's that.
It's okay. I thought Civil War was getting a little crazy.
Yeah, it had.
So a lot of people are like, that airport scene was great. I'm like, this is getting.
Yeah,
we're getting out of hand.
I was just like, you know what? They just built this entire movie around this airport.
They really did. Like, I think that's where half the budget went.
Yeah.
It's like, so we have a giant guy, we've got Flying Man, we've got a web action guy, we got Girl with an M9, and we've got Vision who has a laser on his head.
Yeah.
So, oh my god.
So Anthony and Joe Russo are just like, how do we get to that point?
I wanted to see long...
We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, I wanted to see long, boring dialogue scenes between Cap and Iron Man.
Oh, that would have been nice.
That's why I like Netflix shows so much more.
Yeah.
There's so much boring talking.
Mm-hmm. But all right.
I'm getting old, Dan.
It's okay.
I've gotten to that point where I see a movie and when the action starts, I'm like, ah, crap. I gotta wait for everyone to kill each other before I get to watch, like, dialogue. I sound like an old person.
It's okay. It happens.
Can't everyone just talk?
Can't we all just not get along but still conversate?
Can't we all just have Star Trek discussions?
All right, so this is Dan the Movie Man.
This is Apple Sheep still.
Yeah, still Apple Sheep.
I'll keep that name.
And we are staring into the abyss as we sink into the Arctic Ocean.
Disney's winning.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.